So hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about this accommodation problem, but before that let me just grab my seat over there as usual. But one of the good thing about Scotland, Glasgow is even like in terms of UK, you can see the greenery around me. Like everywhere there's grass and stuff over here. The houses are built, there are birds flying over here. This is one of the good thing. Like they preserve this natural beauty in UK, and I've observed this in Newcastle, England as well when I was doing my placement. So in this video, I want to talk about this accommodation thingy because a lot of students were messaging me on my Instagram, YouTube, and also I'm also aware because I also want an accommodation in the September because my different degree program is starting from September onwards. A lot of students are facing this problem, including myself. Now the thing over here is that problem is that most of the students prefer to stay in a student accommodation. Now, as I explained in my previous video, there are two different types of student accommodations. First one is a university accommodation, second one is a private student accommodation, which are very close to the university. And most of the students do not prefer university accommodation, they prefer this private student accommodations. And now, for example, in Glasgow, like locally over here, close to University of Strathclyde, there are about 10-15 accommodation close to the university. But the problem is, all of them are sold out. And I personally was looking for September intake from like 10th of September onwards to get a student accommodation. Most of the accommodation, I think there were like 30 accommodation, and I guess 20 of them were full. I'll just show you this clip over here on the side over here. Like most of the accommodations are sold out and there are very few accommodations left. So like this is my message for all the students who are coming for September intake, because even I was talking to one of the consultant in the India, I'm like in touch with them. They said the September intake is very much in demand, and that is quite obvious because the intakes which were before this, they were online, and this is an intake which will be like face-to-face lecture. You'll be getting all that university exposure. So there are a lot of students who are coming in the September intake, and that is the reason that even before 3 months of September intake, a lot of student accommodations are gone. So my advice here would be, a genuine advice would be that, let's say if you're coming to University of Strathclyde, even if it's any university in England, wherever it is, right, just there's a link mentioned in the description box below. Just click that link, and it's basically for Amber students, and they will be showing you all the accommodations in that specific location. For example, my University of Strathclyde, Glasgow. So I just write Glasgow, University of Strathclyde. It will be showing me all those 30 accommodations available in Glasgow. Now, as I was mentioning, most of them are sold out, but there are still few of them which are left. And my recommendation is that just straight away book them. So my advice here would be, like when you do your visa application, they will be needing your document which needs to state that where you are going to live when you're attending the university for one specific year. Now basically for most of students it will be like these kind of private student accommodations, maybe some of them are university accommodation, but the important thing is you need to book that accommodation before that visa application. Now, if you have made your mind that you are going to UK, you've got a lot of your financial documents ready, you've got that like 28 days bank balance in your account of 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, whatever the fees of your course, you've got all that sorted. Also make sure that you book an accommodation at the same time. Now in order to book a student accommodation, you need to pay a deposit, and now this is a good thing about this private student accommodation. Then that's my reason that why I'm suggesting you, because when you pay a deposit to this all private student accommodation, these are basically big companies, right? Now let's say through Amber Student you might be able to book accommodation called Keel Park Canvas House or Keel Park House. I'm saying at Keel Park House. It's not Kylie Park House, it's Keel Park House. I know, like before I used to say Kylie Park House, but it's like wrong pronunciation. It's Keel Park House. Now this Keel Park House is owned by a very big company called Unite Students. Now they've got a lot of accommodations of Unite Students are available all over the UK. So these are really big companies. So when you pay the deposit, it goes to a third party. It doesn't go directly to this accommodation provider. It goes to a third party so that it is secured. Because let's say you've got the visa, everything has gone well, and you have finished your contract, so that the third party can return the money. So there isn't any fraud. So in order to safeguard your money, the money goes to a third party rather than directly to the accommodation, because it's a deposit, it's a safety net over there. So basically, let's say, like this is like a very unfortunate thing. Let's say your visa gets rejected. For most of you, your visa won't be getting rejected. UK is one of those countries where it's like 100% success rate, 99% success rate. So you should be able to get a visa. but we need to be prepared for a bad situation also, right? We don't want to pay, as I said, in order to book you need to pay a deposit. We don't want to pay like 200 pounds, 400 pounds, like it's 20,000, 40,000 rupees, and thereafter we realize, oh well, the accommodation is gone, like my visa is rejected, so this all money has gone. So the good thing is that you have to straight away put your request. You have to just give them an email that my visa has got rejected, I'm no more pursuing my studies in the September intake. So either they will be able to give you a refund of your 20,000 or 40,000 rupees, as I said to you, because of the third party. It's like your guarantee, it's your assurance that you'll be able to get that refund. I think it takes about 15 to 28 days to get that refund. So otherwise, let's say if you're not coming in September intake, you can carry forward that deposit for your January intake in the same accommodation. So there are kind of very good rules which are followed by this all private student accommodations. They need to follow all these rules and regulations so your money is safeguarded. So my recommendation is that don't worry if any accommodation is asking for a deposit or something, but make sure that you book as soon as possible. So now let's say that if you haven't booked your accommodation in the month of June, you've kept it for July or August. So what will be happening is the first possibility, it might get sold out. Okay, that's the first one. The second possibility is the cheaper rooms for specific private accommodation are sold out. So you don't get the cheaper rooms in that accommodation. You have to buy the expensive one, which costs about 180 pound per week, like sometimes about 160 pound per week as well. So like these are my suggestions for you guys, that make sure that you book your student accommodation. I cannot emphasize much on this point at all. Okay, so with this, I hope this video was helpful. The resource is mentioned in the description box. The Amber Students link is over there. Feel free to click that link and put your query over there. Like they will be able to help you out, they will be able to assist you out, and definitely you'll be able to get a student accommodation. The only thing is make sure that you do it on time. Cheers, bye bye.